Hey there, fellow adventurers. Today we're going to dive into communications on the trail. I'm going to introduce you to the Baofeng handheld radio.
Off-roaders use handheld radios for communication because they often venture into areas where cell phone reception is unreliable or even non-existent. We're able to then, with the handheld radios, stay in touch with our group, coordinate maneuvers, even call for help if needed. They're crucial for safety and organization on all off-road adventures.
First things first, let's identify the different parts of the Baofeng radio.
We have the on-off knob.
Handle mode.
We have the little flashlight right here, and I'll show you in a minute how to turn that on. And we have the antenna on the top. This antenna is removable. Okay, we turn it over here, and you see this orange button here is the call button. And a quick switch of that will turn it to the frequencies for FM radio. You can press and hold the call button to turn on an alarm. Turn it one more time and it shuts that off. Below the call button is the push to talk button. Now it's important to note that when you are transmitting, because you have a license, you have to make sure you hold the button completely while you're talking into the microphone. And then you let go when you're finished speaking so that you can hear the response. Right below the push to talk button is the monitor button. A quick push of it will activate the flashlight at the top. Click it again. It's going to make it all flashy. And one more time, shuts it off. Okay, just to recap, we got the call button. Again, that's going to switch you over to the FM radio. So if you want to put it to an FM radio station, you push and hold it. It's going to make that annoying loud alarm. Below it is the push the talk button. You're going to push it to talk, just like it's called, a push to talk button. Let go of it when you're finished transmitting your message. And below that is the button that's going to turn on and off your flashlight. On this side, underneath this lid here, you have portholes for a cable that hooks the radio up to computer for programming it. And you can also use it for accessories. So now let's look at the face of the radio. We have the digital display. We have the speaker right here. And right here, a teeny tiny dot, you can barely see it, is actually their microphone. Here we have the transmit LED light. When it's transmitting, this little light turns red. When it's receiving a transmission, it will turn green. So we can simulate that by just pressing this little monitor button. See how it goes green? Then we'll see the keypad. You'll notice on this display screen that there's lots of letters and numbers and symbols. So we'll quickly touch upon it. You can see there's 2 rows here. It's because the radio can monitor 2 stations at one time. You can see up the top here is your battery levels. Because we can transmit and monitor 2 channels at one time, we need to know which channel we're currently transmitting on. So you can see that there is a little triangle that indicates which channel is the active channel that you would be transmitting on. So if we were to hit the push to talk button now, I'd be transmitting on the top channel. Now you can easily change in between the 2 channels by hitting the AB button here, the blue button. So if I push that now, you can see that now the little triangle is on the bottom. So if I were to hit the push to talk button now, I'd be transmitting onto that channel. So while you're in channel mode, and we know we're in channel mode because we can see the channels here on the side, the little numbers there. If I want to change to a different channel that I have pre-saved. So while you're in channel mode, these are channels you already have saved into your radio. I can make sure that if I look to see where the little triangle is, the cursor, that's the channel I'll be changing. So if I wanted to change the top channel, make sure the cursor's at the top, and I hit the up and down arrow here.
4, 8, 4, 7.
And now I'm listening to these two channels. Now if I want to change the one on the bottom to a different one, again, you go back to the AB button because that's going to bring the cursor back down. And then I can change that channel.
6, 1, 6, 0, 5, 9, 5, 8, 5, 9, 6, 0, 6, 1.
Again, and to go back to,
Frequency mode.
you're with a group, you're going to change to a completely different frequency. You make sure you put it to the cursor that you want to change, and you just enter
4,
it
5,
in.
3, 8, 4, 5.
I'm now listening to these two channels. Now I would only be transmitting and speaking to the cursor on the bottom. So let's say I'm going to switch that. I'm going to just make them both the same so that I don't have to worry about which channel I'm speaking to or transmitting on. So I would change this.
4, 5, 3, 8, 4, 5.
Now it doesn't matter where my cursor is, I'm going to transmit to the same channel. See, I can move that down, I'm still transmitting. But if you wanted to monitor two channels at the same time or be able to switch back and forth, you just have to be remembering who's on which channel and which channel you're on to speak. So we put it back into channel mode.
Channel mode.
Now, if I want to change the channel and I know my saved channels, I can just push the button
1, 2,
and it's going to take me there,
7.
right? And I'm going to change the top one.
1, 1, 1.
Okay, back and forth.
Frequency mode.
Frequency mode, again, if I was thinking I was on channel mode and I went to go change the channel and I started putting in the channels,
1, 2.
it's going to think that I'm actually putting in a frequency.
5, 5. Cancel.
And if you just get too many numbers, it's going to cancel and revert you back to the channel that you were on before, the frequency you were on before. Okay, so let's say we're out for the weekend and you're going to be on the same frequency or the same channel for that whole weekend with that group. So you want to save it so it's easy to find later. So first of all, you make sure that you're in the frequency mode.
Channel mode.
So now I'm in channel mode.
Frequency mode.
I'm in frequency mode. We also know we're in frequency mode because there's no channels listed right here. You want to make sure you use the AB button to decide which one you're saving. So I'm going to go down. And let's say we are changing it to 5, 2, 5, 8, 4, 6. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to. So now I want to save this. As long as I'm saving it, I have the cursor at the bottom. I hit the menu.
Menu.
Then it comes up to memory channel. And then you scroll through. You see how this has a CH beside the numbers. So channel 1, it's already in use. So you got to scroll. And if you're too slow at it, then it's going to revert you back to where you were before. So you just hit the menu again. Scroll through until you find that memory. Hit menu.
Memory channel.
Then you scroll through until you find one that doesn't have a CH beside it. So 126, it doesn't have a CH beside it, so that channel memory spot is available.
Receiving memory.
That is now saved into channel 126. Can exit, and there we go.
Channel mode.
And now you can see that both were saved. One was already saved, and the other one, the new one, 126 at the bottom. So while you're in the channel mode, if you want to go to one of your saved channels, you just make sure that you have the little cursor at whatever line you want to change, and then you can just enter the channel number.
1, 2, 7.
And there you go. I've changed it to 127 channel, and which is frequency 453-845, which I had just saved, and then 126 on the bottom. Keep in mind, as a reminder, that little cursor is where you're going to be talking if you hit the button to talk. There you have it, folks. Now you should feel confident using your handheld radio while out on the trails. But just remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So to remember to use your radio wisely and respect the rules and regulations. Until then, happy trails.